All right. I'm trying to make this new video to help you do the homework on chapter one. And I'm going to go show you the really important parts that you have to follow along. You cannot memorize anything in math. You have to learn the technique. So I'm going to focus on the technique that you're going to use in conversion of units. So the first one says a certain gas station sells 8 gallons of gasoline for $32. How much does 1 liter of gas cost? So the important thing is to look at the question and say, what should be the final units? The final units must be cost per liter, or in other words, dollar by liter. So the dollar should be in the numerator and the liter should be in the denominator. That's the most important. So we start with what's given. What are we given? $32 for 8 gallons. That's given. See that? So $32 divided by 8 gallons. And then because we know that we don't need the gallon in the denominator, we have to get it canceled out. That's why we go with 1 gallon, because we now know that the gallon will cancel out, divided by 3.78541 liters. So that's given. So the gallons will cancel out again, and then you will be left with dollar per liter. But you have to put this in the calculator when you do it. Please, when you use the calculator, remember it's 32 divided by, use parentheses, 8 times 3.78541. If you don't, you will get some other answer. So that's why you get $1.06 per liter. Number two, a room measures 6 meter by 8 meter by 2.5 meter. How many cubic feet are in this room? So the final answer must be in feet cube. How many cubic feet? And it's about volume. We should know that volume is length times width times height. So we're going to go start with what's given. 6 times 8 times 2.5, all in meters. But since we know that we have to get feet cube in the numerator, which means the meter should get canceled. So we're going to go with 1 meter is 3.28084. That will be given. You don't have to memorize it, okay? But how do we know that we have to put 3.28084 feet in the numerator? Because unless you put meter down here, it's not going to get canceled out. Are you getting what I'm saying? And also, because we have meter 3 times, we know that this whole thing must be raised to 3. That's when the meter raised to 3 will become meter cube. I've written it outside just to make it clear. And then here you have feet cube. But when you do the calculation, do remember to cube this number, which means you have to multiply this 3 times, then times 2.5 times 8 times 6. And so I'm sure you got it. Now, on the left-hand side, what's given in print, I do not want you to follow that. That is the step-by-step method. And you may ask, why then did I give it? Because for some students, it might make it easier. I don't know. So I gave it first a step by step, but I want you to follow the chain link. You know why? Because that's easier once you understand. That's why I'm writing it out in red. All right, let's go to number 3. This time you're given the length and width of a room. Breadth means width, and you're asked to find the area. Now, area is length times width. Again, the important thing is recognizing that the final answer must be in meter square, right? Okay. So you go 480 centimeter times 360 centimeter, which is given. It's the area. But we know the centimeter should get canceled. So we go with 1 meter, 100 centimeter. That you definitely have to know. It won't be given. 100 centimeters make a meter. But we know the centimeter has to be down below because, like I said before, it should get canceled with this. And again, you have to square this whole thing so that the centimeter square cancels out with these two. And we're left with meter square. It's so easy. Okay, once you understand it. So it's 480 times 360 divided by 100 times 100. Do not forget to multiply with 100 twice because there's a square. And do not forget to use parentheses in your calculator. Number four, similar kind of question. But let's do it. A rectangular picture frame measures 20 inches by 15 inches. The conversions are given. I'm not reading it. And this you will be given. This one you have to know. Find the area in square meters. So that's important, right? That's the important thing. We need the final unit to be square meter. So let's start with what is given. 20 inch times 15 inch because it's area. You multiply them. But then we know we have to get rid of the inch. So, I mean, I wrote it here, but you can write this first. 2.54 by 1 inch. Let's give them. And then do not forget to square it. And then once you write that, you're like, okay, the inch will get canceled out. But what about the centimeter? Oh, then you go with, 1 meter is 100 centimeters, square that. So now you see that the inch gets canceled with the inch square here. The centimeter square gets canceled with the centimeter square. And put the numbers in the calculator and you will get the answer. And I have rounded it off to two sig figures because what's given is just two significant figures. But it doesn't matter to me, even if you leave it like that. I'll be so delighted, I'll give you full credit. Okay. Number five. Once again, do not follow the printed thing, just follow what I'm writing. Number five. A tablet screen has an area of 1.50 feet square. Find its area in square meters. Okay. So finally, we should have square meters. Start with what is given. 1.5. Oh, where did I get? Man, I made a mistake. I put it as 1.54. What is given is 1.50. I think I wrote it out wrong, but in the calculator, I may have. That's why the answers don't agree. Oh, I apologize, but I don't want to write this whole thing again. Oh, but let me see. So that somebody does not put that in the comments. I'll go ahead and I'll try to change it right now as I'm recording so that I am safe from anything anybody has to say. Okay, so red 1.50 should bring it to 0.1394. Okay, so 1.39, and I'm just going to stop there, centimeters. All right. Okay, so let's go back to business. So you have to get it in what? Square meters. Start with what is given, 1.50 feet square. But then you have to get rid of this. So it's 12 inch per 1 feet, 12 inch here, and then I should say 1 foot, and then whole square because this should be feet square. By now you're following, so I'm just a little bit lazy going fast. And then because we know that the inch must get canceled, you go 2.54 centimeter by 1 inch, that gets canceled. And then because you want the centimeter to be canceled as well, go with 1 meter is 100 centimeters. See how that works? All of them gone. One, two, three, and you're left with meter square. Centimeter square, right? You're left with, you want the area in meters squared. So again, oh, I can't believe it. Second mistake. Meters squared. Well, you get it in meters. I apologize. Number six. This is such an easy question. You're given that an ancient artifact weighs 300 pounds. What's its mass in kilograms? That's just one step. I'm sure you will do it. Okay. But I won't write it, but I'll just tell you. It's 300, start with 300 pounds. 300 pounds. Okay, let me write 300 pounds times, the kilogram should get canceled. So you go with, oh, you want it in kilograms. So the kilogram should be on top. So you will go 0.453592 kilogram divided by 1 pound. So the pound will get canceled with the pound. You understand? And you will get it as 136.08 kilo. Number seven, got to be careful on this. So let me slow down. A dog eats 0.75 pounds of dry food per day. Okay, so each day. How many 5 kilogram sacks of dog food are needed for 1 year? Hmm. So the answer must be in number of sacks per year. See that? How many sacks per year? So let's start with what we know. We know that one sack has 5 kilograms. Yeah, because it says how many 5 kilogram sacks. That means one sack has 5 kilograms. Then we we got to get rid of the kilograms. So it's better if you write this next times 0.453592 kilogram in 1 pound. So now we know the kilogram would get canceled. And then you have the pound. Oh, you have to get rid of that. So now we'll go with 0.75 pounds is eaten in a day. See that? 0.75 pounds per day. Now we get rid of the day. So we'll go with 365 days in 1 year. So look how that works. So the kilograms canceled out, the day canceled out, the pound canceled out. You're left with sack per year. Do the math. You get this number, but you cannot buy partial sacks, and therefore you have to round it up to 25 sacks per year. All right, number eight. A laser has a wavelength of 0.45 micrometers. That's a good one. And you want the answer, or somebody wants the answer in nanometers. Me? Yeah, me. Okay. So you have to change micrometer into nanometer. And you're given these conversions. 1 micrometer is 10 to the negative 6. There's no benefit of putting that one because I'm not going to write it. Multiplying or dividing by one makes no change. So we'll start with what's given 0.45 micrometers. So that micrometer, yeah. And so we got to get rid of the micrometer. So we'll use this conversion with the micrometer in the denominator because it should cancel out. And then you're left with a meter here. Oh, we got to get rid of that guy. And then we'll take this, but we know we have to put the nanometer on top because the final answer must be in nanometers. And so the meter gets canceled. Feel I'm talking too much. Yeah, but I hope you're following along. And do this carefully, the math, please. Multiply this with this and then divide with this. You will get to this 450. Oh, the last one. Am I glad? Estimate how many times an average human heart beats in a 70-year lifetime. Okay. How many heartbeats in a lifetime? Be careful. How many heartbeats in a lifetime? So the final answer should have beats per lifetime. And the average human heart beats 72 minutes per minute, 72 times per minute. What did I say? Okay. So we start with what's given 72 beats per minute. Then we know we need to get rid of the minutes. So 60 minutes in an hour. And then we got to get rid of the hour. So we know 24 hours in a day. Yeah. The hour is gone. Now we're left with days. Oh, so 365 days in a year. And it all works out. The last one, I think I'm in a rush. So we got the minutes canceled out, we got the hours canceled out, we got the days canceled out. Now we got to get the year canceled out. And so we go with 70 years is one lifetime. So we cancel out. What did that cancel out? The beats per lifetime. Do that math. Of course, it's going to be a big number. That's the number of heartbeats in a lifetime. It's going to be big. So do that and you get it. I hope this is useful. How do I know if it's useful? Yeah, you got to go and put a comment or give me a like. Did I say that? Yeah. How else would I know? If you do that, I promise you that I'll continue to make new videos for each homework to help you. Thank you, and let me know how I could make it even more useful.